Well, following last month's riots, social media is being seen as increasingly important to police, with millions of people now using sites like Facebook and Twitter to share information.
In the West Midlands, one senior officer has become one of Britain's most popular policemen on the internet. Our special correspondent Peter Wilson has been investigating the part social media played during the riots.
As the flames swirled during last month's riots, a firestorm of looting and crime spread around the country. But in Wolverhampton, although disorder did break out, it was rumour and lies on the internet which seemed to be fanning the flames. The man responsible for keeping the peace in the city is an early adopter of social media. Superintendent Payne has more than 7,000 followers on Twitter.
It's really important when you've actually got the facts in front of you that you're able to let people know what's going on really quickly. And obviously social media provides us with a really easy way of doing that.
The superintendent has been on Twitter for 4 years. He advises the Home Office on social media. There were fears that criminals were using the internet to orchestrate the riots, but Payne believes it would have been a disaster to ban it.
Lots of people now use social media to communicate in their normal day-to-day lives. If the police or the government suddenly turn it off, you know, that would actually cause real disturbance amongst people.
This is Bentley Bridge Retail Park. During the riots, rumours spread on Twitter and Facebook that not only were looters targeting this place, but that it was also on fire. One local woman decided that she had to do something to correct the misinformation. Stephanie Jennings used a Facebook site to counter the rumours and to repeat the superintendent's updates.
We felt it really necessary. We felt a sense of responsibility that we'd set up this Facebook page for people to communicate on, that we then made sure that the communications they were given were true.
Sharon Rowe was the police gold commander in charge during the riots. She's got no doubt about the importance of social media.
Huge, absolutely huge. I think the lessons that we need to understand is how do we use that information, how do we turn it into intelligence quicker, have we got the right tools to access that level of information and analyse it.
As social media connects people, the police feel the need to work with and to understand more about this powerful new form of communication. Peter Wilson, BBC Midlands Today, Wolverhampton.
Well, with us now is internet expert Professor Russell Beale from the University of Birmingham. Very good evening to you. Thanks for coming in. We've seen that social media, well, it's blamed for good and bad things, but, you know, how can police then use it more for a force for good rather than bad? We've seen a little example there.
Yeah, well, I think obviously because it's a communication medium, the key thing about it is that it enables organisations, individuals to reach out to people. And so whilst you can get rubbish information produced, you can get informed people putting out serious stuff that people can then follow and act on. That
was what I was going to say, actually. I mean, there's a lot of information in this. Police could be wasting officers' time by following up a lot of this, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could. But I mean, the police are actually quite good at sort of understanding the sorts of things that they should be looking for. There's also developing in the research labs now software that can allow the filtering of this sort of stuff to allow people to start focusing on the sorts of trends and the sorts of things that are interesting in these sorts of massive quantities of data.
Yeah, that is really interesting, isn't it? I mean, we all should, though, be very careful, really, about what we put on these sites, shouldn't we? Because, as you say, it's around forever, isn't it?
Yeah, the difficult thing about social media is that at the moment we treat it as if it's very casual conversation with just our family and friends, and in fact it stays there forever. Pretty much anyone can look at it, and it's not clear that we want a permanent record of all the sorts of things that we've been up to, sort of streaming past our lives when we look at it, you know, sometime in the future.
Yeah, just a warning to us, really. Well, thanks very much indeed for coming in, Professor Beale. Thanks very much indeed.
And you can follow Midlands Today's journalists who are on Twitter. You can get them at BBC MTD/reporters. Let's have a roundup of other news now.